Hello family, friends and followers. Welcome to another video from Sweeney's Creek Farm. This one's going to be a short construction video, making something that we need on the farm. We've got an unfortunate situation. We've got too many roosters. We've tried to rehome them, we've tried to send them on to another place, but roosters are very hard to rehome and to move on. There's strict regulations about where they can go and who can own a rooster, and other people breed them, and it's very hard to rehome them. So unfortunately we've got a few that we will have to humanely dispatch. So having done in the past without this particular item, I found it very difficult. I've seen some videos online, and so we're going to construct a kill cone, which is a metal cone to put the rooster in to hold him nice and secure while we humanely and quickly dispatch him. You might hear in the background a few peeps and cheeps and scratchings. We've got a number of little baby chickens that we've incubated. They're in the brooder at the moment under the heat lamp, so we're yet to determine how many hens and roosters we've got there, but we're certainly going to need this particular item going forward in the future. We are going to have meat chickens on the farm. We're going to be raising those for our own meat supply. Part of the process of owning those, of course, is that you'll have to process them yourself. So having these kill cones will be a great addition to the farm and allow us to do it humanely, quickly, and it's just part of the process that many homesteaders go through. Part of the research I went through with this was watching a number of videos online. I got a design and measurements for some tin sheeting. I went down to the local sheet metal manufacturer, gave him the measurements and the item, and said, how much will that roughly cost me? The price that he came back with was the same as one if we purchased them online. There are a number of places online that you can buy these particular items. The price of the actual materials for him to then to cut it and get it ready for us was going to be the same price as ordering one. So I thought, well, that's not really going to be of any benefit to me. We have a policy here on the farm of reuse, recycle, repurpose as much as we can. So I dutifully went off to the local recycle centre. We have a large municipal tip, or dump as the Americans would call it. And next to those tips we always have a recycle centre. So items that are discarded by people are sifted through, and those that can have another life go into the recycle centre and are sold back to the public. So I went in there and had a look around, and I found a piece of tin exactly what I was after. Galvanised tin, and already in a cylinder system, and this was basically 1/10 the price of a new piece of metal. So it's going to be much more efficient. Yeah, it's going to require me to do a little bit of cutting and manufacturing, but that's quite okay. So the process here is I've measured it and I've got it ready to cut in half, so I've got the right height for the kill cone. I've actually got 2 of these, so I'm going to end up with 4 kill cones out of these, which is going to be fantastic. I've started with the measurements from a design that I saw online. I'm going to cut this one out, put it together, see how it pans out, the size of the aperture of the holes, and then modify the design if I need to going forward into the 2nd, 3rd and 4th. So this one's going to be a little bit of an experiment, and just to see how it goes with the cutting and the rolling and drilling and pot riveting. But I think we've got a good design here. I think it's going to be fine. Just a little review for those people that use the Ryobi range of power tools. These double-sized batteries, absolutely worth their money. We've got both the smaller ones and the larger ones. As you saw earlier in the video, this one was cutting out, wasn't able to maintain the power. Once you put this double-sized one in, absolutely fantastic. So they're not cheap, but they're worth the money. Well done, Ryobi. To make a cone, you basically need a trapezoid shape, which is like a rectangle with the sides on an angle. It's not going to make a true cone because you actually need a rounded top for it to all fit in perfectly, but it's going to be good enough for our purposes. So what I've done there is measured out the distance for the circumference of the circle. There's actually websites you can use online that you can actually punch in the numbers, and that will give you the diameter of the circle you're going to end up with. So I've used that to come up with a length here and a length here to come up with what I hope will be the right size. So what I've got to do now is to curl that around, get one to overlay the other, drill through, and then pop rivet between the two, and that should then hold it up. You can kind of see that it's already got that kind of cone shape coming up already. So there is your basic shape for the kill cone. So now I've just got to get that nice and flat and get them drilled in a few spots and pop riveted together. As you can see here, as I said, because it was a trapezoid, not an actual flattened cone, you end up with these points sticking up the top. So I'm just going to draw a line across and square that off a little bit just to make it a little safer, and then pop rivet it again just to make sure it's nice and secure there, and then it will be able to sit on the wall. Not exactly circular, but it'll do the job. Can everyone hear me? There's the final product after that process. It's not as clean or as neat as a commercially made one, but it's going to do the job, and it's going to be quite effective and make it a lot easier for us to do this process. So as you can see, we've done a number of pop rivets down the side here. We're not going to see that join because that's actually going to be up against the wall. We'll drill a couple of holes in there to be able to screw it to a point on the wall. We can then put the rooster inside as the head comes out, and then we can humanely and quickly dispatch. We won't be showing any of that process. There's plenty of other channels that have videos on how to dispatch chickens. YouTube can have issues with slaughtering of animals, and we don't think we need to show that on our channel, but certainly this is going to make it a lot easier and a lot more humane. It's something that we don't like to do, but unfortunately it's just part of the process. As it's turned out, we've ended up with one of these handles on the front, which is going to be quite handy, a handy handle. We'll be able to use that to hang the knife from and have that accessible when we need it. Just to reiterate the fact of the benefit of using recycled materials, my initial quote for the materials for one of these from a steel manufacturer was $40. I got those two tubes for $5 each for a total of 10. So I'm going to end up making four kill cones for $10 instead of one for $40, which I think is certainly much better value-wise, and also much better for our ecosystem and the recycling movement, which is a fantastic thing that Sweeney's Creek Farm will always support. If there's any metal manufacturers or blacksmiths out there watching me do this, I do apologise. Yeah, look, it's a bit rough, and I'm no metal worker, but it certainly achieved the result that we were after. and we're happy with it. If you're enjoying the content on the channel, please support us and subscribe. We have a lot of people coming in and watching videos, and we'd really love to see you hit that subscribe button and join the family. Thanks very much, guys. See you around on the next one. Bye for now.